Hello, hello. Hi, guys. Hi, Anita.
Hello.
Hi, everyone. Hi. It's lovely to be here.
Yeah, it's amazing. Super, super excited to start this new episode of the EmpowHer Journey, your community here to support your self-growth and live by your own rules. So this month, the theme is so exciting. We just can't wait. It's how to choose joy, tips to allow happiness. So really allowing more joy and more happiness in your life. And we've got the perfect guest today.
Oh.
Perfect for this theme. It's the wonderful, beautiful, amazing Anita Reeves.
Oh, goodness. Thank you, Clem. What a warm welcome. Thank you, Anna. What a warm. It's such a privilege to be on this show. I can't wait.
You're going to see that Anita is just bursting with joy, and she's really, for me, a role model of joy in your everyday life, spreading positivity everywhere she goes. And a job as well. She also has a job additional to that, is to be a meditation teacher. She's an experienced hypnotherapist, founder of Cheeki Zen, happy vibes for happy lives.
Indeed, I am.
Which is her business. She uses tools and techniques from hypnotherapy, mindfulness, meditation to design personalized plans and one-to-one coaching, helping you to transcend limitations and experience life differently. So this is what you're all about, but we'd love to hear, Anita, how it all started and what journey.
Yeah, wow, it's been quite a journey. Well, it goes way back to when I was 15, really. I sort of thought there must be more to life than going to school and coming back again. And in those days there was no internet, so I'm not going to say too much about my age. But I joined the Mind Body Spirit book group, and I managed to just get lots and lots of books, but really didn't answer very much at all because I had no direct experience of what they were talking about. So my house became like a library, and so I knew that there was something that I was missing that was so important. And so and also I had a undiagnosed underactive thyroid, so I was quite foodie at the time, and as a child, and I just followed that path of trying to get help and support, and I used eventually all the complementary therapies that I use now to help me with illness and stress and everything else. And yeah, so my journey is very much about transcending stress and illness and all that sort of thing. And yes, I later developed I went into primary teaching, and obviously that was a fabulous job, but again, really stressed out, and my life, I was just turned into a list of lots of demands. You know, you wake up and the first thought you have is what you haven't done. It's all on lack. So I said, oh my goodness, I just can't work this one out. I'm going to have to go and get some help. So I got involved with an organisation that helps with meditation, so that I followed that. And then with hypnotherapy, I was I had lots of issues. Confession time. Basically, I was anxious about driving. I was anxious about giving birth. I was terrified of giving birth, to be fair, and sleep difficulty. So hypnotherapy I used a lot, and that really helped me transcend. So everything that I've had in my life, I've transcended and been passionate about helping others through that transformation. I later had a child. I had a very calm birth through hypnotherapy of yoga, bright breathing, and everything. And I had a child that had a disability, had autism. He didn't sleep. Oh my goodness, he didn't really sleep for 2 or 3 years, and I really road tested all my meditation skills and hypnotherapy skills and stress relief and mindfulness, the whole gambit. He was a great teacher for me. And I thought, this really works, you know, like sort of when they say, you know, 20 minutes of deep meditation is worth 6 hours of your deepest rest. Well, I road tested that, and I still lived in the moment, and I still experience endless joy, and continue to. So I've always done lots of things and always put well-being to the side, but now it's the full emphasis. You know, I want to get out there and really help everybody. It's just the right time now to be full on with being a wellbeing coach.
Wonderful.
Yeah. A bit of a crazy show.
I love how it all started with a book. I found that quite magical.
Yes.
And then
it's a classic, isn't it? Always looking on the outside to fix the higher emotions. And you know, I used to be a point where I went on holiday to Malta, and I spent all my money on handbags to make me feel a bit happier. And I had to work in a bar afterwards because I had no money left. And constantly buying things to make myself happy, thinking that, you know, it might make me happy for 10 minutes, but you know, it didn't last. So I was looking for that huge void of inner peace and happiness, and that's where the joy comes from.
So beautiful. And I love as well how you all the different experiences that you have found with the natural medicines and the hypnotherapy and the meditation and the breath work, and how all of that now is combined together in your business, in your service to others. That is so beautiful, because it's not only one thing, which is quite unique, isn't it?
Absolutely. They get my clients get a unique package of absolutely everything I've ever done. You know, insights like life coaching, as well as all the other therapies, and I'm able to I did a lot of public speaking. I became a primary teacher, and then I worked for the local authority as inclusion manager, and I was encouraged to do a lot of public speaking and training, which really helped. And it's helped now for big workshops and retreats and doing spas and things.
So you're using really all those skills, those transferable skills. Just the best of everything into
pack it all in, and then being the founder of the charity, because at the time there was contracted services, you know, there was cuts for the families, and I thought, you know, I can't let these families down, so we together set up a charity to support local parents of kids with disabilities, and that's still going really strong, and they did employ someone and everything else, so I was quite ready to let go and really go full on with Cheeki Zen, which I use a lot of the therapies and everything with the families and everything. But it was time to give back to myself a little bit and get my true mission accomplished, if you like.
It's like it got refined and refined and refined, right?
Yes. Yes, you're always learning, aren't you? But and having my own practice, obviously, I've meditated for 20 years. You know, my consciousness, my awareness, if you like, has changed over time, and you know, it's amazing, so beautiful to see it change, and that place of I feel I go to Barbados every day when I do my little 20 minutes practice, or I do my practice with my eyes open. It doesn't really matter, and that's where all the love, joy, peace and happiness is. It dwells there, and then it comes out. So you're just like a marshmallow most days. That's what I mean. You can be your authentic self, you can be crazy, and you're encouraged to be crazy. I'm always in the right place at the right time. I always make connections. People come to me, I don't follow them. I don't necessarily think that's a good or a bad thing. I just show up, and somehow some energy's released, and then I'm always in the right place at the right time. Half of the stuff I do these days I've not planned for. It's just the spontaneity and being in the right place, I guess.
Absolutely.
And your joy is so communicative. That's amazing. I love that.
My only mission in life is to laugh 100 times a day. I think why should kids have all the fun? And basically not take myself less seriously every day. Because when I was a teacher, I was very serious. I was like Mrs. Slug at the Minions on. And
Imagine.
you know, always worrying. So it grabbed all these negative thoughts that I was never good enough. I think a lot of everybody has that, women, men, everybody, you know, children as well.
Yeah.
So it's a liberation, it's a freedom, really. Yeah. Yeah,
I can so relate to your story about learning at first in the book, so you find the answers elsewhere, and then you realize that you need to practice the techniques, you need to live it on your own, so you can find the right combination of what's working for you.
Yeah, it worked for me. It's like reading about chocolate and thinking, oh yeah, I really understand eating chocolate, and then actually eating it. The two are so different.
That's
so different. Or you could say, for the ladies that are watching, it's like reading about childbirth and then actually going through it.
Yeah.
Two worlds very different. And that's the same with spirituality. You can read a lot about being calm, and we can follow the apps and everything else. I'm not knocking the apps at all, but actually experiencing it with a regular practice, that's what coaches do, help you with that regular practice. You will go and get more and more and more until you burst like me into joy.
Do you hear that? Is that what you want? Well, you've got to do the work.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, I'm pretty much happy all the time. You know, obviously if some, you know, the kids play me up or whatever, yes, I might be like, oh, they're driving me bonkers. But it's a very temporary thing, and then I'm back to my joyous state again. It's you recover quickly. You just recover really quickly. You go back to your center. Yeah.
While you're talking about that, can you explain to our listeners and viewers where does happiness come from?
Ooh, the $1 million question.
That's
right.
The question.
Well, this is the big one. If you take nothing today, remember this one. You live where your attention is. Say it again. You live where your attention is. Most of the time, we have 2,000 to 5,000 thoughts going through our nervous system. And we do, I don't know why, but we listen to it all. And it's queuing up. And if you analyze these thoughts, they're either in the past or the future. And they are limited and lack, and they're very based on lack. So they're not very helpful. So we're constantly in this ebb and flow of thoughts going through our system. Sometimes they can be really dull, like I need to get some tuna from the supermarket, and other times it can be, you can't do that, you're not very good at that. So we're exhausted because it's a lot of energy for our bodies, and not only that, it's giving signals, the mind-body connection, so it's giving signals to our brain that there's something wrong. So the body's going, there's something wrong. So then what happens is we go into a stress response, and we know that what happens when we're in a stress response, our body goes up, we stiffen up, we start palpitations, we go on and on and on. And once we put our attention on all these thoughts, or one in particular, and it just grows and it grows and it grows. So the trick is to stay where your body is, and to go inward if you can. But if you can't go inward, or you haven't learned, or any of these things, or you're just about to start, you stay where your body is and stay in now. Stay where your body is. Don't go off. Because they're just thoughts. They're just thoughts passing through. There's things that we can do as meditation teachers to show you that. They're thoughts going through, and it's stress releasing. They're just thoughts. But we give them so much power that we can we limit ourselves by them. And then once you've got that under your belt, you've got free reign. Then you're absolutely, automatically, you can stay in the moment, go inward, where all the higher emotions are, peace, love and joy. And like you can start that internal party. So it takes practice. This is not going to happen overnight. It takes practice. It's a bit like setting off for the longest hike. You know, you're not going to get it all done in one day, but you can do little things. And I call what I offer is little steps, just little steps. And then you're helped and you're coached along, you know, because it's all very unfamiliar, you know, and we're habitualized to go outward. No generation's ever told us to go inwards. So, you know, there's a lot to release, there's a lot to let go of, and there's a lot to go inward, because, you know, it really is 200% of life. So 100% on the outside and 100% on the inside that will bring harmony and balance. That's how people become unhappy. And I've had direct experience of being unhappy, but not now. A long time ago I was unhappy, and a long time ago I was stressed, but I remember it all.
What's great news is, like, it happens to everyone. We all have thoughts, we all, you know, pick up things, and it's the survival brain going, oh, tiger, and then we pick up those habits. It becomes a mode, a default mode, and we you know, there's nothing. What I like to say is, like, it's not you doing that to yourself, you know, like, don't blame yourself, don't go into guilt mode or anything like that. But it's just great news. You can do something about it.
Yeah, absolutely. You've got choice in every moment. You just need the skills and the tools and the support, and, you know, and we start, you know, I've got clients that would probably never go into a meditation practice, but I can give them some stress relief strategies, you know, or hypnotherapy if they just want that quick fix of 3 sessions or something. I just work with whatever I've got, you know, whatever people want or require at that time, and just hold them in love and tenderness, and the mother side, you know, it's like the gentle side, because I think the world needs more kind and loving people. That's what we need. We're out of balance slightly, aren't we, with the thrusting and the striving and the all about me, get out the way. We need to nurture ourselves and nurture others. So I'm a big believer of that.
Absolutely. And I think maybe a misconception of people with meditation, and it certainly was my case before I learned meditation, was that you have to fight your thoughts, or you have to get rid of them. And so many people you talk to would be saying to you, okay, no, it's too hard. Meditation's too hard for me. I can't do it. So with what you've explained, I think it's really clear that it's changing the relationship with those thoughts, and they're not going to go away. They might still be here. That's absolutely fine.
Yeah, absolutely. And the thoughts are just stress moving. So how do you hold on to that? It's like sitting on a hiccup, or you just got to, you become an observer, so you can just see it going. But as long as you stay where your body is, and don't grab that thought and go off on one, because we all know that once we grab a thought, we live where our attention is, it just grows. So it starts off as a little tree, a little weeny little Christmas tree, and it grows into a massive rainforest. We've all been there. You know, one nasty comment from somebody at school. The time they get home, it's like, everybody hates me. I don't want to go to school. I've had enough. You know, it just grows and grows and grows. And so thoughts are natural. We just need to change the relationship with them. That's it. You know, we don't need to control them. And to be honest, the more you ignore them or just observe them, the less you have. The more energy you've got.
And as you say, the resilience as well is much better, because they just release. You don't hold on to them, so they just come and go. And, and they're off, and you're back here.
And even if you do go off on thought, you know, you just come back. There's techniques you can do to get you back and to start again. And it's a constant, just going, coming back, going back. And then in the end, after 20 years, it's like you're pretty much showing up as whatever you are in the inside is showing up on the outside. So it's just a work in progress. Always.
Absolutely.
Always.
Well, it's a dance. I like the analogy of the dance, actually. And what I love as well about what you're offering that is very special is that you are also using the body as a means to calm the mind, right? Like
that's right, the other way around.
Yeah.
It's possible to calm the mind, do the body meditation. If you say it wasn't for you, using, in a practice maybe you found it difficult, through the breath work you can automatically calm your body down. It's that mind-body connection. So as your body calms, your mind calms, it becomes less anxious or fraught and brings you back into balance.
Yeah.
So we can do it 2 ways. There's ways around for everybody. Like some clients come, you won't fix me, I'll tell you what, you'll never sort me. So no, come on, but I can find a way. I love a challenge. We do. We have a right laugh and we do get a challenge. And we do sort it. Because everyone's different, everyone's on a different journey, we just love and respect them for where they're at.
Yeah, and having so many tools in your toolbox allows you to be very personalized,
flexible. Yeah. So because I work with children, teens, autistic community, obviously elderly, carers, seniors, big organisations, business people. They're all on different crossroads and different journeys. But it makes my life so amazingly varied, and I love it because I'm never, I just don't know who's going to show up next. It's great fun. I like the university side.
So it's beautiful because it's like the message out there is like, whatever your situation, whoever you are, I can help you find joy. I can help you get there. So could you give us some examples of people?
Of course, yes. Well, I'll start with the youngest. I had a lovely young girl, 15 years old. It was just as the pandemic came, and she went to private school, and she left school with no qualifications whatsoever, even though her parents had paid quite a lot of money for her education. So that came as a referral, and she was in a really bad state. She hated school. She felt like really let down, understandably, by school. She couldn't go to college. There was lots of can'ts and can't do, and I'm not putting up with that. Her parents were having to work away as well a bit, and so that she didn't get the attention perhaps from her parents that she needed. But I spoke to the parents first and said, this is a family therapy, really. I'm going to show you what I'm doing with the young person, but really you need to support her, and going to be some specific actions, which they were brilliant. They absolutely followed. Basically, I started from scratch with her. Found out what her strengths were, because she really had enough of studying and everything else. And we found out that she loved dance. Parents didn't want her to do this. No one said to do this, but I found that she just loved dance and she was passionate about it. So I had to go back to the parents and say, this is what she really loves. Are you okay? Can I encourage her around this and support her? And they said, yeah, she's so low mood. Whatever you can do, we'll follow if that's what she really wants to do. So we worked out, first of all, the treatment plan was to get her in a good mental health state. So we got her going with a lovely practice that was bespoke for her. And we did lots of breath work and audios and all sorts of things to help her. Running alongside that, she was in the house on her own with no friends for hours on end in London. So basically we worked out together how she could get a little bit of an income, even though it was COVID, even though this, that and the other. And we stepped it up, and I encouraged her to find a little job. So she found a little job at the garage, and then from then on I encouraged her to do an online yoga course, because we were looking at the synergies between dance and things that she could possibly achieve now. So there was one parallel line of what she could do now for income and experience, and the other one was building up a portfolio of dance and qualifications that way, and looking at colleges and everything else. There's lots of practical, lots of sort of meditation and helping her with her strengths. And basically she went from absolutely, in a very short period of time, couple of months, she went from being so low, suicidal, to being really vibrant. She got a job, she got into college, the parents helped her all the way to get into college and supported her. She's in a dance college now. And then on top of it all, her grandparents got in touch with me and said, oh my God, what have you done for this? We were so worried about her, and she's doing the things that she loves, and she's getting a qualification in yoga and everything. So she was a huge success story for me, and it just shows you can offer your services in other areas of the UK. So my other one is an opera singer in Norway.
Ah, interesting.
Yeah, I get all sorts. So the network I'm in as well. But basically, he had panic attacks. The high level of stress that you're under and you can imagine on a big performance, operatic performance, and then there's all your lines and singing it at the right levels, and oh my goodness, a whole raft of things that your mind could feast on in terms of lack. And so what we did with him was we did reframing audios and a little bit more hypnotherapy with him, and then practice. And he just said, oh my goodness, he said he felt so much calmer. We did some stress relief as well prior to performing, and we reenacted the performance. And he said he's not worried at all. He gets that slight anxiety, but not, and usually they do when you're an actor or a singer, you get a slight performance, but he's doing great. He's got contracts right around the world now, so I'm really excited about it. My other one is a carer. I'm just going to try and give you different case studies. She was a full-time carer of her husband who got Parkinson's and was very, very poorly. Now that hit over the pandemic, so I was supporting her with some relaxation, meditation, and basically she had to stop because she was so worried about COVID and everything. She was at that age group, you know, and she had lots of agoraphobic phobias. So I had to do it again through Zoom. She had to go over to see her son to see if she could, because she was struggling to use Zoom and stuff. But we got there in the end, and we did some hypnotherapy with her and an audio, and just started. I call it backward change, starting small steps, going to the post office and coming back, or going to a local landmark and coming back. And anyway, she managed and she transcended it, and she said, thank goodness. And we talked it through, and it was so vital for her at that point because she was so isolated anyway, and as a carer, exhausted. Before I did all that, she also had backache, and I brought in a partner who's a yoga teacher, and we were doing all sorts of crazy things against the door to sort her back out. We had so much fun, and she loved it. And she just said, oh, it just needed more people like yourself. Oh my goodness, it just goes on and on. Another one, I work with schools now, and sometimes our vulnerable children need that extra bit of support. And I supported an autistic teen girl, and basically she just got the diagnosis. She had a tremendous amount of anxiety. She had sensory processing difficulties. She felt that she had no friends, so I had to do 2 plans there, because being a teacher and special needs teacher, I understood, and having a son also with autistic tendencies, and he's autistic as well, so I put like a plan in place for her, and I worked on her anxiety and trained the parents and everything else. So that was amazing. She's able to cope better now, and she understands, and the family knows when she needs to regulate her senses and stuff. And to be more honest, because she tended to mask because she was emotionally younger than everybody else, and she didn't understand non-verbal communication. So we went through all that visually, because she's a visual learner. So yeah, it can get really, really in depth, and I absolutely love it. So that's just a flavor of some of them. I'm just trying to think there's only business. I have a business lady. She had everything materially. Her business was skyrocketing, but she still felt like she lacked confidence, and so it was just a case of building some resilience into her program about self-love and all that sort of thing. And she's just amazing. As she said, I was like her best friend she'd ever had. So yeah, it's great, and it's great to see people. You know, she really is stepping up now and feeling 100% confident, even though, I mean, materially she's fine. You know, so yeah. So those are just a bit of a taster, really, of some of the clients that I work with.
That's excellent.
Yeah. These are beautiful stories. Thank you for sharing.
Yeah. Oh my goodness, and I think just working with them, and phenomenal. I tended to work in groups, and I love groups still, and I will be moving more into groups. But the intimacy that you have on Zoom, and it's a beautiful thing, and it can be so flexible. Yeah.
And as you were saying, Clem, it shows how everyone can change and can be happy. Yes, it's pretty amazing that there's nothing wrong with you guys, and yes, you can be happy.
Yeah.
Can you tell us? Sorry.
Yeah, they just need space. It just need a bit of opportunity for space, and then practice and a bit of reflection. And sometimes I do have to say to the busiest of the professionals, that if you don't give yourself space, you're going to be out of balance, and it's called a dis-ease. And I have to sometimes remind people when they've got these huge ambitious goals, particularly business people, and they won't even allow themselves to have a 5-minute break, stretch break or anything, because their goals are so important. And I say, well, actually a prisoner has more fresh air than you. Do you think that's doing your body any good? Sometimes you do have to be a little bit tough, and then they realize and go, yeah, you're right, because it is about being in balance. That's where happiness is, about being
yeah, very much. And again, this message of hope, and no matter where you're from. And I love the different examples, because sometimes I think the guilt as well is like, I'm not feeling super well, or I have this phobia, or I'm struggling with quitting smoking, but I shouldn't need help, or things like that, or like judging your experience. And just if you need a little bit of help, and
everyone needs help. It's a great thing to do for yourself. If you want to do anything for yourself, always ask for help, because we're not all experts of everything, aren't we? And just that little bit of help can just transform everything,
Exactly.
In all areas of life. I'm a real fan of coaches. I've used coaches all my life.
I love the fact that you use the verb allow in one of your sentences before.
Yeah.
Can you tell us how to allow happiness in our life? Because we all deserve to be happy, but how can we let ourselves be happy?
Well, you just right. First of all, you just need to live where your body is. You need to, without even thinking about doing any meditation practice, you need to just let your thoughts be your thoughts. Just let them go. And just be attentive to where your body is. There might be a beautiful flower in the room. There might be a colour that jumps out. It's starting that. That's the start of an awareness. That's the start of claiming back from the absolute chaos of thoughts. We grab them, and we just need to let go and just observe them and watch them. And that's the start. And then, of course, if you can't do that, then you do it through breath. So the deep breath in, hold it for 5, and then slowly let out for 11. That's a simple. There's lots of things out there on breath work, or there's the yoga one with the nose and everything. So if you can't do it, you can't be mindful all the time, then the breath work will bring you back to balance. Yeah. Really simple, really, really simple. I do stuff with 5-year-olds, and they get it, so they don't really need it. Really, they're not really grabbing their thoughts all the time. But so it's really accessible. Yeah.
And it works with any body sensation, doesn't it? Like it can be stretch, whatever works for you to bring you back. And I found as well, it's helping with your focus, right? It's, as you said, where is your attention now? So can you use your focus, your attention to put your feet on the floor, and you don't have even to close your eyes. You can do it with your eyes open. Or just notice your breathing, or the touch, or that's it sounds like that's not going to do anything. Maybe that's why you're thinking what you're listening to. Well,
but when you're not. I don't know if Anna, if you've been in the car and you've had an argument with someone, or something horrendous has happened, and your thoughts are going, and you've got in the car and you've got to your destination, and you don't remember any part of your journey. Where the hell is your attention? How did you drive that car? How I know we've gone on to automatic pilot, But a lot of us live like that. We live in another world, a world that doesn't actually exist. The only part that exists is where your body is right now. The rest is past is gone and the future isn't there yet. And we've created a narrative, a story that doesn't actually exist. It's just future worry about something that may or may not happen. So it's a lie. It's a cosmic joke. That's where the majority, probably 95% of the population live. Yeah. And you wonder, like, oh my God, and there's people driving planes and everything else. And then you're thinking, what would it be like if I was totally focused and totally attentive? Well, I'll tell you what it's like. It's like living in a flow 24/7. We've all had those peak experiences. We've looked at the moon or the stars, we've been totally immersed. We haven't been worrying whether we put the washing out or not. We haven't been worried that what's so-and-so going to have for the next meal. We're totally there and present and loving it. And we just feel alive. And that is the invitation. That's the invitation of living where your attention is and letting it grow and developing further and further.
Yeah.
I remember when I started to be aware of my thoughts, I saw how the bad thoughts are in loop. You're like losing so much time being in the same bad emotion and being in the same bad thoughts. And you're like, oh my God, please.
You know what to do, Anna? What you do is if you're aware of that, give it a name, like, oh, here comes Betty. Betty's the one who says I can't do anything. And you just see it, and then because you've labelled it diminishes. It's hilarious. And just be prepared, be curious to try these crazy things on your mind. Your mind's doing this all the time. There's one snake saying, oh, you're terrible, you can't do anything, you're rubbish, da-da-da. And the other one's going, oh, you're marvellous, you're bigger than, there's no room in this world for anyone but you. I don't know if we've got that one, but we maybe have this one, And it's constant, and it's just limited beliefs. It's just a thought. We're going like this. And it's not true, and when it diminishes, you go, why did I put myself through that? People stay in jobs that they hate because of the limited beliefs. We stay in really dangerous relationships because of limited beliefs. It can be really negative, so it's just vital that we start to change that relationship with those thoughts.
I'm going to keep this image in my mind.
Yeah, I know. Give those thoughts a name. Honestly, it takes it all away.
But I just love as well how simple it is, isn't it? Like
very simple, yeah.
It does. It's a dance. So yes, you're going to get lost in thoughts again, and emotions are going to come, and life is so rich. So yes, you get the whole spectrum of every emotion available out there.
Absolutely.
Fine and colourful.
Yeah, and you're just letting go of stuff, like letting go. It's just a process of letting go. And it just brings you to this place of absolute heightened harmony. What you see with me is just basically there is no outside or inside. It's just one great big connecting massive love with everybody else. I just live in a different, I don't know, I just live where my body is and just enjoy, and I'm totally grateful. There's the other thing, to be grateful for everything. Because gratitude is an upward spiral in emotion, and and guess what? It attracts even more things to be grateful for. So I'm not surprised I get these amazing opportunities, because I'm grateful for everything, even my coffee in the morning, even the shower, even the water at my tap, because I know in some places they don't have that. We take so much for granted. Even the nice weather. Even though I'm sweating. And people love to be around positive, upward spiraling, funny, joyful people. They don't want to be around Mrs. Minion or Mrs. Slug, They feel drained, you need to be. So, there's a lot of attraction around this. But yeah, being grateful is essential, absolutely. And that comes in time with your practice. You start to see things, feel things, and you become more and more happier.
That's right. And I think you'll see, guys, just by trying gradually, you'll get little nuggets, and it's going to feel good and better and better. And the more you come back to it, the more that grows, and the more it shows you by your experience. Again, when we were saying, you can't learn to ride a bike if you don't get on the bike, and you don't get this experience yourself.
Yeah, you need some support, you need some tools, and sometimes when you're letting go of some of these very strong, what I call super thoughts, or serious limited beliefs, and we've all had them. Your body goes into a bit of a shock, but once you've let it go, it never comes back ever. And then you're like, it's amazing. I don't have to take any tablets. I don't have to hide away. I don't have to stay in a job I don't like, because I'm full of love, and I just trust. And when you love and you trust, it just all works out somehow. It just does. You become more of a passenger of life, not a driver. So then it'll just come, and that's how it's meant to be. Because love is meant to. It creates and brings so many things to your table, and you've just got to allow it and let it live in flow.
But what I love about your flavor is this mixture of joy. So there's energy, there's the smile, something very bright, as well as that, as you said as well, something very loving, something very gentle, and a sense of calmness. And I think that's something I've discovered as well along the way, is that we feel sometimes that they're not compatible, but actually when you get to that space, you get all of it.
And more and more. And as the further you go into it, the more I'm very visual. When I meditate, I get lots of visions and guidance. And and I get to find out, because when I was 15, I was fed up. I was thinking, well, who am I? Why am I here? The big questions. Why am I here? What's it all about? Because going to work and coming back again, or going to school and coming back again. And as much as I love the physical world, there must be more to this than this. There's something bloody massively missing here. I've been shortchanged big time. so I was like 20 years of searching. You don't have to do that anymore. It's really out there, My God, that was the greatest gift. Learning to meditate, or finding stress relief, or finding hypnotherapy was one of the greatest gifts. You couldn't put there's no price to put on it. It absolutely healed me beyond anything. And I found out who I was and why I'm here and everything else. So it was a bargain. Oh goodness. Yeah. So it's a deep dive, certainly. But you do need support. It is,
and maybe for some people, there's also this misconception that if I meditate, or if I'm in mindfulness, that I'm going to be super calm and like almost asleep. But no, it really burst out of life. You just, life comes through you. It's there's a big energy there.
Oh my God, yeah. It's about living. It's about loving. It's about laughter. It's about joy. It's about dancing on a Monday with your CD on, your favourite sounds. It's about doing crazy things with your kids. It's just literally getting the juice out of life, every second of it. Get the juice out of it. It's not about going away. Meditating with your eyes shut, that's lovely, but that's not what it's all about. It's about enjoying every moment and being present with your kids, with your employees, employers, everybody. You're being present and being as loving. You give people space. I mean, how incredible is that you can give people space? I give people space. Like, I'll just see how people are. If they need something, they'll have it, and vice versa, and create boundaries so that I'm not exhausted. I start with myself first, make sure I'm healed and sorted first, and then I'm able to give a massive amount of energy to everybody else.
The more of the peace of mind you can have in your head is space for joy, space for enjoying, space for
Just go there and discover it. It's all there, it's waiting already. It's the other missing 100% of your life.
Guys, go get it.
Go get it. And if you don't know how, just get in touch. I'll sort it for you.
You know who you call. So our last question today would be, if you could go back in time, what would you tell your younger self? Would you have some tips?
Oh my goodness. Well, you know, as I said before, I was very serious. You know, I took on board the full teacher profile. You know, I have to get all these qualifications and I have to be the leader of the pack academically. You know, I've let go of all, you know, I can't go to the party, I can't go to the festivals, I can't go out with my husband to the cinema. I've got to study. I've got to be a perfectionist. And I think I was probably the most miserable I've ever been in my life. And what I would have said to myself then is, oh, for goodness sake, of course you're going to get through. You've got to live, you know. Don't take yourself so seriously. And, and every day take yourself less seriously every day, you know. The more you laugh, the more energy you've got, the more joy you attract. You know, that inner being that you are is desperate to get out of all this limitation and sort of all this rubbish that we all carry around with us. It's desperate. It's like it wants a Boston breakout, you know. It wants to get out. It wants to enjoy it. Because life is short, and when you're my age, it's getting shorter. So I just want to embrace it all. I don't want to waste a second, you know. And I hardly ever say no to anything. Where in the olden days, I would say no to everything. Oh, can't. And now it's all I can, and then I'll have to go back and check with the family to make sure I've not gone a bit too extreme. And a bit more boundaries on the energy front, but usually I get invited to some amazing places and to do amazing things. And yeah, that's what life's about, is to enjoy, you know. It was never ever meant to be miserable. Certainly not. And it was
amen to that.
We were never meant to be in a prison with all these limited thoughts. It's just because we're not shown how to go inward. Your parents won't have taught you, school won't have taught you, society certainly doesn't teach you. And, you know, outward. There is, you know, if you want the unconditional love, if you want the unconditional joy, if you want the peace that everybody, you can ask people and they're all asking for it, it's in here. It's not out here, because out here is conditional. You know, like when I first met my husband, I was wanting him to be like Jesus and Mozart, all wrapped up in one, you know. And poor bloke, he was like, I'm only an ordinary guy from Birmingham. How can you possibly want all those expectations? Because what I wanted was really what I needed inside of my heart, not from a physical human being that is not even on a spiritual path. You know, it was a bit of a tall order, and then that's where the conflict starts, you know, because I'm wanting all these things that I should be going inward for. So now I'm inward. We have a great harmonious life because we just flow, you know, and I love him for where he's at, instead of wanting these high expectations, which he could not deliver. I don't think anyone could deliver. It's a lot of pressure, isn't it, when you've got when you're looking for this divine, you know, this amazingly heightened love and this heightened peace and this heightened everything. It's a big ask. So yeah. Expectations are the pretty killers, really. So having only just in there and then out.
Amazing way to take us home. Really enjoyed having you today, Anita. So Anita Reeves, you'll have all the details to connect with Anita, a fantastic website, Cheeki Zen, happy vibes for happy lives.
Well, thank you, Anna and Clem.
Thank you, Anita.
It's been such fun. I've laughed all the way through, I think.
You did. So you were saying laughing about 100 times a day. I think it's probably a lot more than that.
Yes, probably. And Clem's seen me in lots of different contexts, so she can totally verify that.
I can verify. Yeah, it's true. And thank you guys for being here, for enjoying the episode. Please hit subscribe before you go. And if you want to send us an email, if you want to give us some feedback, you can send us an email at the EmpowHerJourney @gmail.com. The EmpowHerJourney @gmail.com. Bye-bye.
Bye. Have a lovely day.
Bye. Thank you.
Thank you.